Get ready for your daily dose of marketing strategies and tactics from entrepreneurs with the guile and experience to help you find success in any marketing capacity. You're listening to Marketing School with your instructors, Neil Patel and Eric Su.
Welcome to another episode of Marketing School. I'm Eric Su.
And I'm Neil Patel.
And today we're going to talk about 7 unconventional ways to learn marketing. So number 1, the way I like to learn marketing is, guess what? I just go to YouTube and I sit and I watch conference videos. Literally, Inbound 2016 from HubSpot, that's their big conference of the year. I'm watching all of their videos right now. I might watch it on my Apple TV. I might watch it on my phone, but I'm looking to get at least one thing to do. For example, one guy was talking about artificial intelligence. I pick up that one thing, I dig deeper into it and figure out what I can do in terms of today's world of artificial intelligence, which isn't super, isn't general artificial intelligence yet, which is kind of like Terminator, but still, it's getting better and better. I want to learn how that's going to impact marketing. Guess what? I picked that up just by watching YouTube videos, watching these big conferences, or watching the heavy hitters in marketing. And what you're going to notice on YouTube is that there is a lack of great marketing content on there right now, which means there's a big gap. But the stuff that does appear on there that I do end up watching ends up helping me a lot. If anything, they're good reminders, or best case scenario, I learned something completely new and I present it to my team and we try to execute on it.
Another tactic that's worth leveraging to learn marketing is networking with individuals. So the way I like networking is literally over alcohol. You go to the bar, you talk to people, and this could be like at marketing conferences or any networking events that are tech-oriented, ideally marketing. And you just start sharing tactics that you're leveraging for marketing and that are working. And then what you'll find is other people will start sharing their tactics. I learned more from that strategy than anything else. I still do that today. I was sitting on a boat in Australia, what is it called, like a month ago, 2 months ago? I don't know when. Aaron A just had this boat party. I was there, and there was a lot of other marketers, and some of them taught me how to get 70% open rates on all emails that you send, like no matter what. Subject line has to be appealing, and then still, 30+% click-throughs. And I'm like, this is amazing. I tested it out. It worked, right? My numbers literally more than doubled overnight. How did I learn that tactic? Purely through networking. And if I look at all the amazing marketing stuff that I've learned over the years, most of it has come from individuals sharing what they're doing. Not necessarily people who are running their own marketing agencies, but individual marketers who work at other companies. Because they don't mind sharing their tactics, right? You're not necessarily competing with them. Just people sharing like, hey, I've been doing this and this is what works for me. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah, and number 3, just to build on what Neil's saying, is conferences, but you have to be very deliberate about how you're going about conferences, because a lot of people, when you go to conferences, they just, they'll go there, they'll go into a room and it's like, well, I'm going to go stand in a corner and take out my phone, or, I'm just not going to do anything and then go back into my room and eat cookies. So what you can do is be very deliberate about how you approach conferences. Look at who's attending, look at the influencers that are going there. This is what I used to do in the past. I'll reach out to these people and say, hey, can I actually buy you lunch or something? Can we do coffee or something like that? And then guess what? You get a one-on-one with these influencers and you make the most of it. Or in some cases, you can even throw a dinner as well, which I've done a couple of times, where you host a dinner, you bring in all these influencers, and you're seen as the connector, and then you build stronger relationships with all these people. Ideally, it's 6 to 8 people, and then you talk about kind of what you're struggling with, what's been working for you. That ends up working out really well. So conferences are just one thing, but you have to figure out how you're going to approach conferences to make the most of it.
Number 4, when I look at everyone who's really good at marketing, most of them learn by practicing on their own site. If you don't have a site, that's okay. Just create a WordPress blog, go to wordpress.org, download it, or sign up for like Bluehost or something. There's a one-click install so you can get started with WordPress. Then when you read about marketing, or you watch YouTube videos, or you go to conferences, or you do the networking stuff that I'm talking about, implement what you're learning. And the reason I say WordPress is there's a lot of plugins that are out there that makes the implementation of whatever you're learning super easy, so you don't have to be technical, but implement it. Until you start practicing on your own site where you can be like, oh, I did this and this is the result I got, you're not going to do too well. It's all about practicing on your own site and actually seeing what happens when you make that change, because that'll give you a true understanding of how to move the needle in marketing from traffic to conversions and sales. You have to test it out on your own site to be really good.
Number 5 is mastermind. So there's a lot of different ways to do this. The thing I would say about masterminds, if you don't have a big budget, there's a lot of different ones out there, right? You have Digital Marketers War Room, where you'll pay 25 grand a month. You have Russell Brunson's mastermind. There's a lot of great marketing masterminds out there, and they do provide value. But let's say you're on a budget. What I would say is look around the people in your area. Who are you trying to connect with? Who are you trying to learn from? Is it entrepreneurs that are starting out? Is it marketers? Let's say you're friends with a lot of different marketing managers or executives. Think about the people that you connect with the most, and then set your criteria of who you want to meet with. And then what you can do each month, this is what I did in the past, was each month I'll host a dinner at my house, and then we'll just talk about, okay, what are your biggest business struggles? What's going on? Again, what's working for you? And then we'll put somebody on the hot seat and we'll go through things. And you don't have to necessarily meet in person all the time. You can do a Zoom meeting, right? You can do a Skype meeting, whatever it is exactly. You can do video or you can just do audio, but you're following a format. People are sharing their information and you're at least getting one thing to do to take home. And if you can even get one thing to do out of these mastermind meetings, it's a success, right? It's just the same thing with a conference. If you can meet one great person, the conference was a success. So masterminds are a good way. You can pay the 25 grand a year, learn a lot there, meet a lot of great people, or you can set up your own mastermind, take the initiative. There's a lot of literature there online about how you can set up your own mastermind.
Number 6, people have more perceived value over information when they pay for it. I don't know why, but that's the case. And it is true. When I pay for something, I'm usually more likely to follow through, learn, etc. So there's a ton of free marketing courses out there, and great, you can learn from them as well. But if you really want to get good at something, spend some money. A lot of the paid information is better. So go out there, look at some of the paid marketing courses out there. You can even try things like Udemy, where you just pay for a specific course. And the reason the paying is useful is because with the paid money, the information is not necessarily better as in it's like more advanced. It's more thorough in the steps you need to take and the order. So they've broken it down in a way where you understand why you need to learn it, how to do it, the results you can get, etc., right? How you can implement. And because it's so thorough and more step by step, you'll find that you'll learn much more quickly versus then if you just read a ton of blog articles that are all scattered.
All right, number 7, last but not least, this one's difficult to do, but it's worked well for me over the last couple of years. Start a podcast. It's going to take a lot of time, but being able to talk to these founders about how they grew their business, what's working for them in marketing nowadays, and then building relationships at conferences has led to a lot of different opportunities too. So starting a podcast, even this podcast too, I learned things from Neil all the time, right? Being able to just talk to people. And the great part about starting a podcast is when you have people on the interviews or you're doing things like this, you're not paying for it. You're paying for it with your time, but at the same time you're learning too. We're constantly iterating all the time in terms of how to go about things. Even today, I mean, we iterated around, creating a better process around our podcasting in terms of how we go about creating titles and things like that. And, this is going to be something that we're going to use more to streamline into the future. So starting a podcast takes the time, but Pat Flynn has a really great resource, super epic on starting a podcast. Just Google Pat Flynn. That's FLYNN. Start a podcast. Definitely take a look. So that's it for today's episode of Marketing School. We'll see you tomorrow.
This session of Marketing School has come to a close. Be sure to subscribe for more daily marketing strategies and tactics to help you find the success you've always dreamed of. And don't forget to rate and review so we can continue to bring you the best daily content possible. We'll see you in class tomorrow, right here on Marketing School.